Hi guys, and welcome to calculator that is developed in Visual Basic for complete beginners. So let me show you guys how this works. First of all, let's clear that and multiply that by whatever value. So let's say 9 multiplied by 5 equals that. Multiply that by 7. We don't want that. Clear that. By 2. That should be 90. Okay, plus minus, backspace, 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 multiply by 2. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Visual Basic development environment, and we put one of these together. Hi, this is Code Rabbi here. I'm just going to show you guys how to create a calculator in Visual Basic. This session is just for beginners, so I'm going to click on Windows Forms application. I'm actually using 2019, so click on Next. Let's give that a name. I'll call it VB calculator. Click on Next and click on Create. Okay, let's set our form. So I'm just going to drag it that much, and we then go to Tools. Right here is the tools. If you can't find your tools or any of the icons here, all you need to do is go to Windows and just click on Reset Window Layout. Click on Yes. There we go. Now inside Tools, I'm going to double click on a button, and let's come right down here, double click on the text box. We have those two components on board. Select both components. Let's come right here to the properties, and right inside the properties I'm going to increase the font size. That is the font right there. Click on those three icons there. You can set it bold. Scroll right down, and I'm going to make the font 20. Click on OK. Alright, let's arrange the button now. Drag the button down. The text box, move it up and just drag there. And here you see this small rectangle here. Click on it if you want to increase the font size. Okay, click on, just check the multi-line, then you can do whatever you like with it. You can adjust it how you want. And let's come straight to the properties of the text box. Come right down here, you see where we have text. Change that to 0, and you see the text. Let's align it right. Now the next thing you need to do is scroll right up. You see the name, double click on that and change that to TXT display. There we go. That's all there is to that. Now come straight to the button here. Let's drag it that much. That is fine. You can hold on to your control, just click and drag. Select it all again, click and drag. There we go. Now you have your button in place. You can readjust your form how you want. Now select all of the buttons. Click and drag again. Select it all again. Click and drag. And one more time. Select it all. And click and drag. Bring it down. There. Now you are ready to start changing the icons of your button or the text data on your button. So I'm going to start with the one on rule number 2 here. Let's come right down here where we have the text. That is the text there. Change that to 7, and the next one 8. Once you change the first one, you can just click on the button and change the next one. So that will be 9. And here we enter the plus sign, subtract. That's 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. Multiply, and here will be division. We have equals here, and right underneath here we're going to enter the decimal place, and this one will be 0. There, we finished developing the interface. Now let's select this one here. We're going to change that to uppercase C, and this will be uppercase CE there. And these two buttons, I'm going to go into Word documents, and let's copy. Make sure you select insert, and in here let's click on the symbol, select more symbols, and right we have, let's go to winging, that is it right there. Okay, now scroll right down, you want this very icon, insert, and we also want the plus and minus sign. So let's look for that. You might be able to get that in any of the other fonts, plus, minus. Okay, and right there, that's the plus, minus. You can even get that in the normal text. And that's it. I'm going to click on insert. There we go. So let's close the Word document. Now, one thing we need to do is copy the font we've just copied. Select the button, come right here and just paste that in there, and that takes care of that. The next one, I'm going to copy the backspace, copy that, select, come right here, paste that in there. You wouldn't be able to see the backspace because we need to change the fonts. Let's come right down here, change the font to Wingings. There we go, right there. Click on OK. There. Now we just need to name each button. So this very one is going to be known as BTN BS Backspace. BTN, I'm going to call that CE. There. And this is going to be known as BTN C. BTN plus minus PM, and this is going to be known as BTN 7, and so on, guys. So I'm going to speed that up. I guess you guys get the whole idea now. Okay, guys, so let's start work with the programming part of it. So what I want to do is to make life easy for you guys is select every single numeric buttons here and select this as well. Okay, including the decimal point. Now let's come into the properties here, and inside the property we want to select event. That is the event there. Click on the event. And let's come right down. You see where we have click. Double click on the click here, or you can actually give it a name. Let's give it a name. We call it number click, one word, and you can double click on it or just press enter. There. Now it's taking you straight down to the coding area or the code view. Right there, if you notice, each of the buttons that were selected, they are actually listed in the procedure area. Look at it. Button 9, 8, full stop button 6, 5, and so on. There we go. So right in here, we're going to enter a single procedure that will get the whole button working. Okay, let's start by creating an object that will represent those buttons. So I'm going to say dim B as button, and this very button is going to be equals to sender. when we're sending out data. Now let's come down here using an if statement. If txt.text equals 0, if you guys can still record there is 0 as the default value, then txt.text equals clear. So that is one method you can use to clear, or you can also say dot clear and enter parentheses. Then txt.text we're going to say is equals to the data that we created in there, the object b, equals b.text. So whatever is inside b is now stored right in here. Now if b equals the full stop or the decimal place, so let's say else if, to handle that, b dot text, if it's equals to that, then we're gonna have to use another if statement. If not txt dot text dot contains, and what does it contain? The decimal place. Then we want the following: txt.text equals txt.text plus b.text. There. Then we have to make sure the end if is there, is officially there anyway. Now underneath here we just need to say else txt.text equals txt.text plus b.text. That is it. The b.text represents whatever component you have or whatever value you have on the text box. Okay, you can see it is very straightforward there. So let's run this very one and see how that's going to work. Click on run. There we go. You see that? And we can even enter decimal. Let's see if we can enter the decimal again. No, we cannot do that. And that is it. That is fine. Brilliant. Okay, let's continue with the other procedure. Now let's select the operators and go straight to the property again. Click on event, and this operator, let's use click event as well. So in there I'm just going to call it click operator. There, press enter. There we go. But there's something we need to do first. First of all, we need to declare some global variable. Okay, I'm going to go right up here. Okay, right underneath the public class form, I'm going to come down here and declare as follows. So I will enter num1, comma, num2, comma, and ASN for answer, or ANS for answer. Do that again. Now we have our answer in place. All of those are going to be declared as double. There we go. Then I will also declare another one. I'll just call it OP. That stands for operator, as string. There. Now I have my operators in place. Now the first thing I want to do now is to go back into my click operator, the buttons, okay, where I have all of the buttons. Okay, in there, paste what I've just copied. And then the very first thing I want to do now is, since B is representing each of those buttons, I'm going to say num1 equals, let's say, since it's double, we have to let's convert that, convert dot to double. And what are we converting to double? The text content we have in here, dot text. So anytime we click on that, any of the numbers is actually stored in here. So in that case, OP will be equals to B.text, whatever we have. Then let's get rid of the text content that we might have inside the operator or inside the buttons as well. So let's come in and just get rid of that. There. And these small functions you're looking at, these 3 lines, should actually take care of the operator. Now let's go back to the design view. Let's run it and even see. There we go. So let's select whatever value in here. Let's say 8 multiplied by 5. There. So the operator is working. Now we need to take care of the equal sign. So let's double click on the equals, and right there we can use an if statement. So let's say num2, that is equals txt. Since it's double, we can just make sure it's converted to double as well. So I'm going to grab this and just paste it in there instead of that. There we go. And let's use an if statement now. If OP, the operator, if that is equals the plus sign, then we want the answer equals as follows. So let's say answer equals txt. There. Answer is also double, so we can just copy this anyway. So we can say first number plus second number. Then text box, we're taking whatever value we have inside answer equals, let's convert that to string character, convert dot to string. And what are we converting? That is whatever we have inside answer. And that is it for the very first one. And to take care of the others, we can just copy these and use else if. So copy that, come right down here, else if the operator is subtract, then this equals subtract. So that's the plus, that's the subtract. So grab this, paste and paste for multiplication and division, and enter division here, multiplication here. There. Now I've finished taking care of my arithmetic operators. So let's try it out. Click on run. Okay, let's say 8 minus 5 equals 3. Multiply that by 4. There. Okay, there is working fine. That's good. But 1, 2, 3, 4 are not working. So let's end that. So let's come in here, double click on the CE, it stands for clear entry, and the first thing is I'm going to say txt display.clear, enter parentheses, and I will also declare as follows: dim fn stands for first number, sn second number. Let's declare those as string character, and underneath here, whatever we have inside the global variable num1 and num2, you're gonna have to convert them. So we say fn convert dot to string whatever we have inside num1, convert that to string. And we're going to repeat the same thing for the second one. There we go. Change this one to second. There. And change this as well. Now we want to clear these two variables. So what will happen is whatever entry you enter in there will be cleared. So let's say clear here. That is one, and clear the second one as well. There. And that is it. So clear is taken care of. Clear entering is taken care of. Now let's take care of declare. I'm going to copy that. So come in here, C. Let's go for the C. Double click on C. There, paste that and say equals 0. There we go. So let's run it and see how that works. Okay, let's try that out. So I'm going to go for 5 plus 3. Okay, we don't want that. Clear and say plus 4. There we go. That is correct. Let's multiply that by 8 and see. No, clear that. We don't want it. By 2. There, that is correct. So the clear last entry, that is working fine, and the clear works as well. Alright, now let's take care of the plus and minus. So with the plus and minus, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a variable in there. I will just call it PM, as let's say that is going to be double. There we go. Now underneath here we're going to say PM equals whatever we have inside our text box. We want it converted to, so convert dot to double, and txt display dot text. So whatever we have in there is converted to double and stored inside PM. Now this txt display dot text, we now want it to convert whatever we have inside PM. So we say PM, we say convert dot to string whatever we have inside PM. However, it's going to be -1 multiplied by PM. There we go. So that should take care of PM plus minus. So if I run it now, whatever value that is entered into the text box, once you click on the PM, there should be the minus sign right in front of it. So let's try that out. Let's say 8 plus minus, multiply that by 6. That should give us -48. That is correct. That is fine. So let's take care of the backspace. Double click on the backspace right here. So double click on the backspace, and so the very first thing I'll do with the backspace is I'm going to use an if statement. If txt display dot text dot length is greater than 0, then txt dot text, let's copy that, paste that in here, equals txt dot text dot remove the last entry, and that is going to be txt dot text dot length minus 1. And which one are we minusing? The last entry, 1 after. Okay, that is fine. However, we can end up minusing everything, so in that case, anytime it becomes empty, so I'm going to use an if statement again. If is all empty, I want it to replace with 0. If that is equals this, then replace txt with 0. So I'm going to grab this and just paste it there, paste it here, and enter 0 in there. So that text box is never empty. That's always the default value, 0 in there. There we go. That's that, guys. Look at that. That's beautiful. So let's run it now. Click on run. There we go, guys. So I'm going to enter the following value. Let's make sure our backspace works. Look at that, all the way. Look at that. That's fine. So it says 7 multiplied by 3. Get rid of that. Let's say 5 equals there. Okay, and that is how you create your own calculator in Visual Basic. And please do subscribe to my channel, guys. This is a new channel, and there's going to be more tutorial from me, from Code Rabbi. Bye for now, guys.